Back to the Banana Republic. Let's see the latest news from our good friend, the media. So basically, the Irish Examiner, Irish Independent and Irish Examiner, but they all are one the same. They don't really do any journalism. But Leo, our good friend Leo Varadkar, came along today and said, COVID could be with us forever, which I think we all kind of identified and said, that's a possibility. But and I do remember them saying at the beginning, the vaccine, we wouldn't have any restrictions or anything that if people get vaccinated. We have enough higher vaccination. We have herd immunity or whatever bullshit they were saying at the time. And now they're coming along and saying, it's going to go on forever, and we're going to have unlimited power for the rest of our lives, and we're just going to, have the power to lock down the country at any moment of time we want. So this is just typical, really just typical. But again, I love the way that the media haven't asked how because again the narrative was before, if we get enough people vaccinated, there won't be any cases, there won't be anything like that. Now that seems to be forgotten about, and nowhere to be found. So they came out with this outrageous thing too. Again, they couldn't get any more outrageous in the nightclub sector. It's 500 days. It's exactly nearly 500 days since the last been open. If you think about that, 365 days is a year. It's a year. And then you think about it, so 200 days extra. Yeah, so 200 or so days extra. They've been closed and they're only opening up again. Some of them only open up tonight. Things like that. And obviously you would need tickets now, and you would need to show your papers, please, at the door. And let alone they're going to send probably private security to the venues and things like that to check your vaccine passports. Again, 1930s Germany is not too far away, to be totally honest. Again, I love the way OTs didn't, I love the way the media just accept it and don't question it. It's just, 600 days, not 500. OT proved me wrong once. The only thing they ever do right is talk shite. But so tickets will be required for the purposes of contact trace. And even though they said there was no need to contact trace, it doesn't. Again, what in Denmark and Norway, they have no restrictions. Literally, you could go to Copenhagen and you would literally have nobody asking for anything, because people in Denmark are sick of it, are sick of the government, are sick of everything, and they stood up and said, no, we don't want any more of this. We have enough of this crack. And that's why the government had to foil, because again, they are elected by the people, and the people are the people who decide. And again, the way Leo's going on here, more or less saying they could go on forever. Where's the solution? Because again, obviously they know by now with the lockdowns and things like that, it didn't work. Let's be fair. They said if we locked down for 3 or 2 weeks, it flattened the curve. And the curve can't be flattened, because it always will go up. The cases will always go up. What did they reasonably take? And then they're saying, people get vaccinated, there'll be less people in hospital, and X, Y, and Z. And there's apparently nearly more people in hospital, in ICU and hospital. And the majority are unvaccinated, and they're still getting COVID and end up in the hospital. Even though the narrative was, if you get the vaccine, you won't get sick, you won't die from it. And apparently that's all gone out the window now. It's anything goes, really. It's anything goes. But again, I'm just a conspiracy theorist. As I said in the Shannon, if you have an opposing opinion to COVID or anything, you'd be shouted down this is a conspiracy theorist, a far-right agitated, everything else under the sun. Your opinion won't be heard, to be censored to the living daylights. And again, it makes no sense. Everything I said there makes no sense. And again, tickets makes no sense for the purposes of contact trace. Even though you probably would need to be vaccinated before you allow, I don't think they would let anybody in. And now they're going to go around with private security. Mercenaries go around checking. Because we all know this, and again, this is just total control. This is literally total control. The government has too much say. Again, these nightclubs are privately owned. People, random members of the public, who pay their taxes to the government. They decide themselves what's right for themselves, and that's the end of that. It's up to the business to decide what they think is necessary. It's not up to the big government in Dublin, because that's what it's turned into. And then they want to extend. Wait till you see next month to be like, we have to extend emergency powers into February next year. Wait till you see they come along with this bullshit. And then they come along in February and they'll be like, we have to extend it to next month. And they continue on, because as Leo said here, it's going to go on. It is going to go on. I get exactly, I quote Leo exactly here. I had to go back because you get so sick of listening to Leo. But Leo's basically said once, COVID could be with us forever. More fear-mongering 2.0. Just fear-mongering, pure fear-mongering, trying to fear people, into fear living daylights into people. Leo, just like again, you said if we get herd immunity next Wednesday, we get enough people vaccinated. Ireland has nearly one of the highest vaccination rates in the European Union. It doesn't make sense, and even Waterford, 99% of the population are vaccinated, and there's loads of COVID cases there. And where's OT? Where's the questions being asked? Again, it's just dead silence. It's like the USSR, because everybody else who questioned anything was sent to the gulags and were probably silenced. And nowadays, the silence, just silence them, cancel them, put them in prison, throw them here, at these facts, at these conspiracy theories, this, that, And again, it is genuine questions, and this is the thing. And again, when they come out with this, pure fear-mongering, saying to people, we're never going to get out of this, more or less. But they say, it could. They always use the word could. But we all know they're not well. We can't trust them. They can't be trusted. We can see they promised that there would be Groundhog Day Friday, basically today, saying all restrictions have be gone. Everybody could go to Kingdom Come and to Hell's Gate and to heaven and earth. But again, when the time came, they just said, fuck you all. We're not going to keep our promises. Fuck you all. Who elected you again? But again, they never thought about that. And when the election comes around, they'll be begging us. And they'll probably use an excuse when the election comes around in 2024 that they can't have it because of COVID. Wait and you see. Because again, conspiracy, let's be honest here. I remember I said about vaccine passports, and I said it before they were even introduced, and people laughed at me. People generally laughed at me. Even my friends said, oh no, you're thinking that's communist China and the rest of that. And they said to me I was right. And I was right, because they did bring it in. It might be only limited now, but wait to see it be for every part of society soon. Because we can see now, they're more or less saying that's the only way to open up society and to get society going. Which means, if you don't use a vaccine passport, then you can lump it. Which is why I don't go to pubs, I don't go to restaurants. I just refuse to go, and if I did go, I never went to one. Since the lockdown, I never went to one. I do without a drink, I do without anything. I basically go out, I do without it. That's as simple as that. Just because I won't take part in the tyranny. I won't take part in the tyranny of unvaccinated people sitting outside, or even going inside or whatever. And I don't have a COVID sort of into that. I don't fucking give a damn. I won't take part in any of the tyranny. I won't even go to them. I boycott every. Again, that's the thing. But yeah. So I think I've added on enough, but I suppose you can see my point. Anyway, let me know what you're thinking. Bye.